Hmm. It's
Oh,
the day after.
it is because it was too
Um,
late, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it turned out to be 4 a.m. The Sony conference finished, so we thought, let's not do a post show. We're both ludicrously tired.
It might have been a big slur of
Yeah,
messy
exactly.
slur.
So we slept on it,
Yeah,
and it's now 11 a.m. on the 10th of June. And Sony's show has been and gone. So
yeah, there you go.
a lot happened.
What a killer show!
Yeah, it was all right, wasn't it?
It was
It was all right.
brilliant. It was so good.
I think it waffled on a bit, to be honest,
It did
but
in the middle. It did in the
yeah,
middle, especially when it was that late at night. I was just kind of, I had to keep standing up to keep myself awake.
because it was like it was hit, 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 and then went. And now we're going to talk about TV.
Policies and things like that. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
which went on a little bit too long.
It did. It did. They could have just mentioned that,
It's
like,
yeah, it's not.
rather
It's
than.
nice that they're producing the content, but
Mm,
yeah, I'd rather if it was kind of announced elsewhere. But that's cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
that's very true.
So let's run down the list.
Yeah,
What we
so
did
we
for the
got on
others.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Destiny didn't really see a lot. Wasn't any
yeah.
gameplay really. A
A
little bit,
little
bits and
bit, kind
pieces.
of. It's like an extended trailer thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, I don't really want more. To be honest with you, I just want to play it now.
Mm.
So
So
that's cool.
interestingly, for PlayStation gamers, the beta starts on the 17th of July,
Hmm. Hmm.
but there is an alpha on Thursday, which you can go on via greatnessawaits.com/destiny.
Yeah,
So
sweet.
that's pretty good on
That's
Thursday.
wicked.
Also, they announced that a white PS4 is coming.
Yeah, which looks
Um,
really wicked,
yeah,
really cool. I don't know if they're going to release that white controller separately. I really hope they do because I really want one. It looks wicked.
that's nice. Uh, we then got some more footage of the Order
Yeah,
1886.
again, I hadn't seen any of this footage, and I'm glad that it was like a more toned down like affair. You know, it
Mm.
wasn't so like there wasn't big explosions and things like that. It was quite a creepy
Yeah, I
like
don't.
four-way chase, wasn't
I
it?
kind of get the impression that it's not really going to be that kind of game, like
Right.
explosions left, right, and center. It's not. I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to be a Michael Bay showpiece. I think it's
Sure.
going to be, full of atmospheric areas and
Which it just looks stunning, doesn't it?
yeah, it does.
Absolutely
It looks
stunning.
ridiculous. It's seamless from cutscene to gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty damn good, really.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not really a lot more
Superb.
you can say about it apart from how gruesome the werewolf looked.
Yeah, that
That's
transformation was quite nasty.
yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah, if you haven't seen it, if you didn't stay up last night, well, this morning, really,
Yeah,
actually,
this
this
morning.
morning,
Yeah.
yeah, check it out. Check out all of this stuff. It's all worth looking at.
Mhm. Mhm.
We then saw Entwined, which is a new indie game, which is available now, which
Yes.
was quite a nice touch, I thought.
Looked like a really smart little game.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool.
Really, really
It's
cool.
it's kind of a res kind of type game where you're following down a route.
Yeah.
Um, looks like it's very
You use both
music's
analog
influential.
sticks, don't
Yeah,
you? So that's yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's
kind of
again
interesting.
another game I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
We then got Infamous Second Son DLC,
Mhm.
which is called First Light, which looks to showcase the story of Fetch, which is one of the characters in the game, which she happens to have the coolest power, so that's pretty good.
There you go.
Interestingly, you can use the DLC without the game, which is quite an
Yeah.
interesting touch.
Yeah. Sort of like a Blood Dragon type of thing. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
very
That's
cool.
cool.
So that comes out in August. Again, we didn't really see a lot of that, just more of a pre-rendered cutscene.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then a big one. Yeah,
I
it kind of came
well,
out of the blue.
I didn't see coming.
It
It's just
faded to black after the Infamous, and then just went the screen relit with Little Big Planet 3 there. I was like, wow,
just couldn't believe that. Like
yeah, very strange.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah, yeah, I think Little Big Planet and certainly Medium. Well, it's not going to be Medium Molecule who makes it, but those kind of guys were kind of casting the shadows a little bit after all these
Yeah.
other bigger announcements. So
Mm.
yeah, it looks cool. I think the gameplay was a little bit too long, to be honest. It
It
dragged
was
on
a
a little
bit.
bit.
They weren't actually very good at their own game,
Yeah,
which was a
funny
bit
enough.
surprising.
But the introduction of the new characters seems like
Yeah,
a cool
I
thing.
like it. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't look that much more impressive, but it doesn't need to.
No,
It's Little Big Planet. It already
well,
looks superb. So
it's one of those games that I don't think really uh, it's one of those games that's kind of a visual feast. It's more of a, what it
Yeah,
can
I
do.
mean, it's always run extremely smoothly and stuff like
Mm.
that. So, but yeah, it's more like what you can do with it. Yeah.
So yeah, with this new reveal, we got a date of November this year. So that's another
Surprising.
welcome thing. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
We
Nice.
then got a new cutscene for Bloodborne.
So a new IP, yeah.
A new IP from Software, from Software,
Yeah.
which does turn out to be Project Beast, which I thought was going to be Demon Souls 2, but it's now called Bloodborne. So that is what it was. Looks very nasty again.
It looks brutal.
Yeah.
It looks like dark and dirty and grim and
Some nice
sticky.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe.
Some nasty
It
dudes
looks-
going around.
yeah.
Very much like a Resident Evil dog there as well. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Pretty gruesome.
One of my personal favourites of the show so far was then Ubisoft came out with Far Cry 4.
Yes. Now, as soon as we saw this, like we weren't falling asleep by any means, but I was feeling the fatigue. As soon as this came on, it woke me straight up.
I was all right up until this point personally.
Yeah.
I started to wane when we got to the TV stuff later, but we'll go.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was good.
Mm.
This looked good, very good. After Ubisoft, I remember you saying, "Where's the gameplay?"
Yeah.
And it's
It just looks incredible, doesn't it?
Yeah, like they showed like when you. Well, it's probably not when you first see it, but like you come out and then you just see just mountains everywhere, and that was just a nice kind of route through, and just hijacking a lorry and then going down in a parachute almost all the way through these rice fields.
Yeah, you had the thing from Far Cry 3, the I can't remember what it's called. It's like the squirrel suit, whatever. And so you could kind of glide, and then you pulled the parachute right at the end, and then came down, and then you saw like elephants and this big like town that then you raided. You take, I guess, to free it, like the pirate tip thing in Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 3 was just a really, really good game. So
yeah. Seeing that elephant smash into that car and make it explode, that's really impressive.
It reminded me a lot of the when you go onto that weed plantain. It just seems really bombastic and just it looks very impressive.
It was really hectic as well. I was really surprised how that is going to be quite a hectic game to play, really.
And one of the biggest announcements, one of the most interesting announcements, was the fact that you can play the game. You can ask a player to join the game who doesn't own the game.
And is that only going to be for PS4? That's incredible. Kind of like that, I guess. 3DS do that with like some kind of remote play thing, don't they?
Yeah.
So
for consoles, that's
pretty. To see that coming.
Pretty mad.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We went on to a section. Adam Boyes, who's a personal favourite of mine, came out onto the stage and started talking about feedback from people. I really like this section. It was really good, and it was good to see. That they are paying attention. So we started off with another pre-rendered cutscene for Dead Island 2. I wasn't a big fan of Dead Island, but it's another game. So
it was a funny cutscene.
It was a funny cutscene, yeah.
The guy like just jogging along, he'd already been bitten.
Yeah.
And then just like as he's just like having a little jog, listening to his iPod, all this carnage breaking out behind him, and then he eventually turns into a zombie himself, which is actually quite a gruesome transformation. Though his like body was like blistering and all that kind of.
Check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's funny.
So continuing the zombie theme, they said that Diablo 3 will be getting Last of Us patches.
Yeah.
Which will have like Last of Us content there. We got another look at Battlefield Hardline, which is showing EA's interest in pursuing the Sony platform for that game, which is cool. We got another isometric RPG through Magicka 2, which again, not my cup of tea, but saying that it
Yeah.
there are people out there that love those kind of things,
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
nice to see that. I think the thing to come away from this, thing to bring away from this was just the sheer diversity, and they were saying that throughout. They were saying that we've got a diverse variety of games, and we're not, hiding behind that. I mean,
Sure.
I've got the list here of everything that went down, and it is a very, very varied list.
Very broad, isn't it?
Yeah. And then, forgive me, but I'm gonna just pour my heart out on this one. I played this game back when it was released, and ever since, I lost my copy. And then copies are incredibly hard to get now on PC, and you have to hack them or download them and
have a really old PC.
And all this kind of stuff. There's always a way to get it, but I've been wanting, especially with Monkey Island getting its HD treatment. Grim Fandango is real, and I love the intro to it. They were like, this girl was written in saying I really want Grim Fandango, and it zooms out and it's Tim Schafer. It was really funny and great. I can't say how I'm just so unbelievably pumped and
awesome.
Yeah, it's the message of this conference was that Sony
listen.
Yeah. Listen, and they've got your games interest at heart, and it's just really refreshing and really cool. Just their general ethos and the way their personas come across. It's so much different from any other company, really. With EA, you've got all the dudes and bros who do all the sports games, and then the nerds at DICE, who are very, very clean cut. You got Ubisoft, who are like the party company. Microsoft are just very corporate all the way through.
Yeah.
But Sony are your friends, and it came across again.
Sweet.
We then got a Devolver sizzle reel, which was cool.
Just a crap ton of games coming out, and they all look incredible.
Yeah.
So I want them all.
Yeah, well, me too. Devolver, you don't have to. As soon as you mention Devolver, I'm listening. So
it's so good to see like Broforce coming to PS4 as well. I love that game so much.
And my personal want for this year, it's like my top of my wish list was Hotline Miami 2. So can't wait for that.
Swish beans.
Then we got a very, very strange game from Suda51, which should come to no surprise to anyone who knows Suda51 at all. Let It Die was that game that was just incredibly gory and incredibly mental. It seems to be like that battle arena with like people with chainsaws and
that looked
axes.
Brutal.
It's mental.
It looked messed up. It actually did look messed up. Like what was that game that Rockstar brought out? Manhunt. It reminded me of Manhunt.
Or State of Emergency or one of those. Yeah, it looks crazy. It looks mad.
It does look crazy. I'm not sure if I'm totally up for that. But
again, we're talking about the variety.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety in there.
Someone will want it.
And I think they came back from that trailer and they just went, video games, huh? That was it. So, like, moving on.
Then we got Abzu, which is one of the lead artists from that game company, left the company alongside the soundtrack composer, and have created a studio called Giant Squid, and it looks nice.
It looks really cool.
Yeah. Underwater, yeah.
Beautiful vistas. Just what you expect from Creative the Journey, really.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's very, very good.
Free flowing, very nice, very pretty. So that's cool. Then, arguably my favourite.
I think, it stole the show, possibly for me.
Yeah.
Apart from Far Cry 4.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Which I was waiting for a while because we saw the initial trailer and damn, it looked good. But
I'm a big sci-fi geek and stuff, and I've always wanted a game that you can get in a ship and then fly out of the world and then like explore space and then fly into another planet, and that's exactly what this is. It's just almost I don't know what the aim is, if there is one. I think it's just exploratory, and I think even if it just is about exploring other planets and exploring space, for me that would be incredible. Yeah. And I'm totally down with that. I'm totally up for that.
It's a beautiful game. What they showed was frankly stunning. Yeah. And still not really sure what the theme of the game is.
No,
But
don't know, but just exploring.
Yeah, by the looks of it, which
but
is
you have
great.
got a ship that can fire lasers.
Yeah.
So
that's always good.
Brilliant. And it's also, it sounds to me like, well, they're saying that every player's experience is different. So it sounds to me like it does randomly generate.
Yeah, it's a procedural gameplay.
The world, I don't know if it's going to be multiplayer. I guess it's going to be multiplayer.
Not sure. Didn't really get that from that.
Really?
So we'll see.
It might. It's hard to say. It might just sort of almost it just randomly generates as you play it, which is I like it.
So yeah, I like the show. The entire show, really, so far for me.
Probably.
PlayStation Now, US. It comes out in the US on the 31st of July, which is fine. We'll probably get it in Europe at some point. Who knows?
There was only a handful of games announced, wasn't there?
It was like 400 odd.
Oh, was it actually 400?
Yeah.
Is it because were the 5 games that they mentioned like latest games then?
Yeah, just the biggest titles that they had on offer. So.
Right, I see. Okay.
Then we got some more info on PlayStation Vita TV, which is coming to Europe.
It dragged on a bit at that point, perhaps.
Yeah, it started to, but I'm still very interested in TV because me and my fiance, we watch different stuff sometimes, and it's cool to just take it somewhere else and watch it on TV. So that's a really good option.
Yeah, definitely.
Then, as I say, we proceeded to get bombarded with messages about PlayStation Plus and different TV shows and movies and stuff. So yeah, that's fine, but not really in a place, in my opinion, for this kind of show. So then we got more games and huge ones.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat X.
It's looking good.
Yeah, it got leaked a few days ago, but we got some gameplay.
Two new characters.
Yeah. And cool. It looks great. Yeah, looks like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Which is no bad thing.
But slicker. They've tightened it up, haven't they? Yeah. That's good.
Then The Last of Us Remastered doesn't look any different.
No.
In my opinion.
And I did say that before. I was like, it's hard to imagine it looking any better.
Yeah.
And I won't say anything just yet leading on to the last bit, but I mean there is ways that it could look better, but not a remastered version. Like if they're going to do a sequel, if they were going to, which I don't know if they will or not. I mean, they've got plenty to do with that universe, but whether or not they whatever. But as a remastered thing, I think it's just so people who didn't play it can play it.
Yeah, it looks nice enough. So yeah, I'm sure it will sell. And that will come out on July 29th.
Yep.
Which is roughly where we thought it was going to come out. So this is where I eat some humble pie. Because I said this was never going to happen. And here it came.
There you go.
At first, I swear they threw a curveball because the first couple of things were like kind of environmental things. I was like, in my mind it was like Red Dead, and then instantly I thought, nah, it's GTA 5.
Yeah.
So GTA 5 is coming out on next gen.
It does look nice.
This gen. Next gen. This gen.
This gen now.
This gen now.
Old. We'll call it old gen and current gen. Or this gen. So
it's coming to PS4. It didn't say exclusive, so it'll probably come to Xbox One as well.
Yeah, it definitely will.
Yeah, that's fine for whoever wants it. People know my feeling on remasters.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, at the end of the day, like when we saw the original sort of screenshots of GTA 5, it looked a lot better than what we can't. I mean, not saying that it looks bad. It's probably one of the most incredible. What probably is the best looking old gen game, and still looks better than games coming out now. Arguably, but it looked better in those screenshots, and hopefully this is what it can deliver that kind of look.
Yeah, I think it's similar to The Last of Us. I personally found GTA 5's graphics fine.
Spectacular.
It was fine for me.
Considering the world, how big the world.
Yeah, that was the thing. You keep it. I kept it in context because I mean they can't keep up with Last of Us graphics because Last of Us does has another huge world. So it's to say, it's similar in that respect because it's just more polished and looks better, and the world seems to generate quicker and better, and from what we saw. So yeah, I'm sure that will sell well.
I would like to get it personally.
Okay.
I would like to revisit it on the PS4.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. My feelings on remasters are well documented, but whether there's certain factors for me as to whether I jump in on that. Probably the price. And the functionality sounds cool. The fact that you can take your online save and upload it onto the next gen consoles. So yeah, that's fine.
Cool beans.
And then we saw some, quite frankly, amazing footage of Batman Arkham Knight.
Yes. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Obviously he just got into his bat suit. The little thing went down. He went through the door out of his apartment.
Yeah.
And just the vista, the view of the city, it just seems to go on forever. I'm not saying that's going to be what you get in the game necessarily.
It is though.
But really,
everything you can see, apparently you can go.
Wow. I mean, just incredible.
That's what next gen can do, my friend.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
And the show ender, as a surprise to absolutely no one, was Uncharted 4.
Yep. Nice little short, cutscene.
There's not really a lot we can say about that, to be honest.
But it's just nice to know.
Exists.
Yeah, it's nice to know.
And it's coming next year at some point.
Yeah.
Probably later in the year.
I know it's a CG cutscene, but it looked incredibly detailed. And I was going to say, the only way to that's the way you could make Last of Us look better. If you went, to that degree of graphic.
Certain people have already looked in depth at the trailer, but
of course they have.
But there's not a lot to look at. He looks a bit older. Sully says, "I'm going to do one last job for you." Could possibly be the end of the Uncharted series.
What's it called?
A Thief's End.
A Thief's End.
Could do. But that said, that was also a similar premise to 3, if I remember rightly. There was Drake's deception, and certain things could have ended, may have ended, haven't ended. So we'll see. It could be the last job for Nate.
There you go.
So overall, I think it was the best show. There were some things, niggles that I I've already said. Went on too long, as they always do. 2 hours is far too long, especially at that time in the morning. But it was a solid showing with some great stuff within, I'd say. So definitely the best so far. Obviously we all have our own opinions. I'm very interested in people saying that Microsoft was better. Of course you're entitled to your own opinion.
Totally entitled to your own opinion, but for me, Sony blew everyone else out of the water.
Yeah, it was
not just Microsoft, just all the other everything so far. Obviously, we've still got Nintendo to go.
Yeah.
So we can't announce who won E3, and not that I really want to anyway, to be honest with you.
It's such a lame term.
It really did.
Won E3.
It just doesn't. It's not for us.
No, exactly. So that was Sony's conference. We will do a day one roundup very soon in text and video form as soon as we can. So we will see you very soon, and we will see you live for the Nintendo Direct at 5 p.m. today UK time on Tuesday. So we will see you then.
Bye.